I hate to put it on a coach who's not making tackles or getting sacks. Ooh, that team can't get any sacks. But if you look at the mental construction of this team, there's one thing to have low expectations, and there's a difference of having no expectations. And when you give a coach a 10-year contract, $100 million, money in the bank, regardless of outcome, there are no expectations. So he comes in, he gets to gut the roster. He gets to go out there and look at guys and assess them in any way that they want to. And this was a team that was trying to rebound this year. Remember 2 years ago, a team that looked like they could really do some damage. Derek Carr gets hurt in the playoffs, then they come back next year, as you were saying before, with your Atlanta team, or we see right now with Jacksonville. Oh, we're going to be better, we're going to be better. And you got to go out there and earn your keep. They didn't. Now they have a coaching change, and then John Gruden, he's so comfortable. He's so comfortable that he is actually distant from the outcome, and he's distant from how these players are really approaching the game. So until you change that dynamic, I don't think he's going to be able to reach his collective group.
I think John Gruden's doing exactly what they're paying him to do. He's rebuilding and tearing the thing down and preparing them to move to Las Vegas, where they'll have more cash and they're really going to make a run. When I've watched them play, and I did not watch this weekend's game, but when I've watched them play, I've liked their effort, and I've seen things strategically that I thought John Gruden was bringing to the table. I don't blame John Gruden. I think he's doing exactly what the Davis family wants him to do.
You know, they're the last 3 years coaching on the staff. And I've been a Raider fan since I've been a kid. I played for the Powell Raiders. So back in the mid-90s, mid-70s, I had Raider posters in my room. And I look at it, and yes, 2 years ago, 12-4. Had all the possibilities, had a lot of talent, still have talent on that roster. Then last year, 6-10. Not as good as we hoped we could be. And then everybody gets fired, all right? Then you bring in John Gruden. And I think the only problem I have with John Gruden is that when he looks at the roster, team sports are perception sports. If the coach perceives you not to be a good player, you don't play. Like Carl Joseph. Carl Joseph can play. He can play in the National Football League. He's not a big safety, but he can play in the National Football League. And to tell me that these veteran safeties are better than Carl Joseph is untrue to me. I know, I've seen him play, and I've seen these other guys play. And, you know, I want to see them back to the dominance of the old Oakland Raiders, because it's always fun when the Oakland Raiders are winning. They go against the other rival teams in the National Football League. But there has to be some accountability. And that's the only thing that worried me at the beginning of the summer. 10-year deal, no accountability. You can say he's looking good, he's doing some good things. He tore a team apart that had some good players. One of the youngest teams in the National Football League became the oldest team in the National Football League in 3 months. And that, to me, you can't win with just an old team. You have to have a good blend of youth and veteran leadership. And right now, it's a lot of veterans and not a lot of youth out there with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, I don't blame him yet. I still think we got to give him time. I mean, he's on that 10-year deal. It's just getting started. He's still adding ingredients.
That's unfair to the veterans who are sitting there who only have 3 more years.
Right. It's true.
4 more years. He has 10 more years. Yeah, but that's how it goes. That's unfair to them, just for the fact that he's going to strip those guys away with the... Because, look, they got a nice offensive line. That offensive line is not going to be there that much longer. You get winner Coop.
I feel like he's building for obviously he's building for the future. That's why you trade away Khalil. You go out there, you're going to stockpile. I really believe he is following that pattern of Bill Belichick, where it's like we don't max players out. You don't max players out. All I'm saying is this. Maybe it could be this. He don't max players out. Which the New England Patriots don't do. Not even the quarterback. We already had that discussion. And you build through the draft. You start stockpiling your first-round picks. I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Carr's not there next year. I literally would not be surprised, because he's going to go out. They're going to have a horrible record this year. It doesn't look like they're going to win too many games. They're going to get the first pick in the draft probably, or whatever. That picks the trade. They're going to get a quarterback. He's going to start building the team like that. They're going to hit Vegas running. That's his plan. Now, will it work? I don't know if it'll work, but I got to believe there's a method behind this madness right now, that he could have a better team right now if he would have just kept some players, but he's doing it on purpose because he's building for the future, and that contract gives him the time to do it.
Well, what Rod is talking about is, like, this wasn't a turnkey franchise necessarily, because they were 6-10, but much closer than a full demo. Like, he's gutting this team to a place where you're like, what are you trying to build? And timing is everything. If I'm a player on that roster, he can't have a different calendar than I have, because then I start to lose motivation and I start to lose the accountability from him, and vice versa, because coaches on a 10-year plan to sit there and say, once we get to Vegas, then the clock starts. And I'm like, my hand's in the dirt right now, coach. It starts right now. So I don't see Gruden having his foot to the fire in the same intensity as his collective team.
I know he wants to win.
Yeah,
I know
of course.
Gruden's competitor. I know he wants to win. But I just think going about it where you have to gut everybody because you don't see the talent. And that's what I said. Team sports is a perception sport about coaches. You know, you could be sitting there, and I believe one guy's better than the other guy, not playing, but the other guy really, he's the baller. The other guy's a cookie cutter. He fits the mold of what I like. Some guys, sometimes you got to look out of the box. And hopefully he will start looking out of the box. Hopefully, Tony, you are right, just for the Oakland Raider Nation, because